The way that you'd access this is one of two ways, either through www.weblem.org or mcaa.org. If you go on the MCA website, they've got a link to jump out to the WebLEM. Once you get out on the home page and you log in, this is where it'll take you to. Notice that across the top, you've got your home page, some search results, email updates, about, and help. So this is really the navigational area of the website. Up here in the help area, if we start off in it, there's an area here for a quick flash demo. Really, this site is so easy. There's also some instructions here. It's a PDF file on how you can look up items that would be here on the website. There is a user profile on here that you can go in underneath. Well, when you log in, and I'm already logged in, but when you log in, right underneath your login name and your password, that's where you can also change any of your login information about you. So each company will have a particular contact at your company. It's really important that that information that is in there is up to date with your email address, because when we send those updates out, currently we've got almost 1,000 MCA companies that we don't have current addresses for, so they don't get the WebLEM updates the way that everybody else does. So if you're not getting updates, you need to make sure that your information is correct there. If you want to ask a question of the LEM committee, this technical support area, if you just click it, up will come, it launches your Outlook, and you'll send an email off to Nick Poufard in this particular case. Nick is our liaison that takes care of that, and then on the contact us goes to Linda Burke. So there's a couple areas that you can get a hold of us and ask questions if you happen to have some. Over here on the right-hand side, in the navigational side of it, we've got 3 different areas. You have your recent updates, your bookmarks, and recently viewed area. So under the recent updates, as our committee sends out our updates, which we typically try to do just within a few weeks after one of our committee meetings, we meet twice a year, we'll have 2 updates usually. And if you click on one of these updates, it will actually show you the things that were updated at that particular launch or that particular time. So if you're wanting to go back and look and say, did I get all of my updates? You can look right there because it shows them all. Bookmarks are for obviously things that you want to bookmark in here. So if you wanted to go out, for instance, and look, this particular one is cast iron fittings, but we also have, so I'm going to just scroll across on this particular table. If you see a paperclip image here and you click on the paperclip, up will come a drawing or whatever we've attached there. So that figure 5, somebody doesn't know what a figure 5 looks like, we've attached a picture of it there. So that's one of the things that I had bookmarked here. So your bookmarks will be here in this area, and recently viewed files would be down here in the recently viewed area. So all the data on the left-hand side is laid out in a folder structure, pretty much in alphabetical order. We've got some files up here in the very top that are like housekeeping or rule type, website rule type stuff up here at the top. But then the actual folders that contain the items themselves are in alphabetical order down the left-hand side. If you notice, if it is in black font, that's actually a folder, and blue font is the file itself. So if I click the plus button, I can click on down, notice another black folder, I click on down, and then I finally get down to the blue folders. This is where the items would be for the actual tables themselves. If I click and open one of these tables, then we can see the content of it. Down the left-hand side is obviously the size. Across the top, it tells you what the item is. So, this is a butt weld elbowette in standard weight or extra heavy, or socket welder threaded 3,000 pound. And then the labor hours associated with that are listed in each of the tables for that particular item by size. Whenever we come out with an update, a recently changed update, all data points are recorded in here, and they're shown in yellow. They're highlighted in yellow for a period of 1 year, and then after 1 year it'll turn to black font. So to show you an example of that one, if I go under suction diffusers here, this is one of the ones that we've recently updated. So as you see, the highlighting in there is yellow. That yellow means that it was just updated, and it'll stay that way for a year. After 1 year, then that'll change to black. But this is also a nice little reminder so that you'll be able to see, is that a newly added item or not? Across the top, we'll notice that there's a breadcrumb across the top. This breadcrumb shows you navigation-wise where you're at. So if I just go in, let's just go in a fitting table, for instance. Now, when I open that table up, you'll notice this breadcrumb across the top here, and it shows you the navigational path down to where we were at. So if I'm in this area and I'm looking up, you know, these types of fittings, and I want to get back to carbon steel fittings, I can just click on carbon steel, and it'll take me right back to the carbon steel, the fitting table or the fitting folder where carbon steel resides. So that's a navigational way that you can get back to here, or you can simply click on the back button to get you back where you needed to be. But the breadcrumb is pretty nice to show you, you know, where you're at in the navigation. There's notes or diagrams. For instance, if we look at this hanger and sleeve, this is seismic hangers, but down here at the very bottom, there could be footnotes here. Obviously, this one is stating that these images were provided by SMACNA, and then the rest of that dialogue there, and then the actual drawings themselves. So we credited SMACNA for those. But the significance of this is you could be on a table that has footnotes or other diagrams or pictures on it, and they'd be listed there on the bottom, and you could just scroll to the bottom and see those. So that's of significance there. We got a search box that's up in the very top, on the very top right, and in this search box you can actually type in something that you're wanting to search on. So let's type in PEX, and when we search on that, it'll come up with the PEX fittings, PEX manifolds, PEX valves. The way the search feature works is when you type something in, it obviously goes to find it. But what happens if you type something in and you didn't spell it PEX? Another good example might be ProPress, Pro space press. We can look at the results of what everybody's searching on, and then we'll do the match or the mapping to those items so that you'll be able to find those things much more quickly. So we're able to look at what everybody is searching on. You can always go back and look at what you searched on through search results, which is located right here. So if you've searched on something, as I did with PEX, and you come back to search results, it'll give you all the results of your last search. So that's another way that you can navigate back and forth. Every one of our tables, when you open up a table, just open up this PEX fitting table, every one of these, we can download them or export them out, if you will, to either Excel, CSV, or we can print them. So there's the little links across the top to get you out to each one of those. You can print them out if you need to. All the updates, the LEM committee updates are made in real time, meaning whenever we update any of the data points on here, they are live on the web. They would obviously show up in yellow, and you'd see that newly updated labor unit in there in yellow. Each of our changes are logged automatically, so we have a change log that we email out to the subscribers, and you'd be able to open up that log whenever you get that email, and it'll give you all of the data tables that have changed on the website during that period of time that it was issued. So we always give the period of time, and then you'll know the items that were changed during that period. So it's pictures and PDFs and notes, those could all be attached. We showed where you could have a file or the little paper clip attached to one of the items, like that figure 5. We've got notes on there, both for the end user to look at. We also have notes that on the administrative side of it that are for just our committee. So if we were looking at a particular type of an item, and we wanted to attach who the manufacturer was, for instance, or some of that data about it, we can attach that as a file that the committees would see for future reference or looking back on for historical data type stuff. The history of all of our changes we keep a history of all the changes for everything that we have changed, so that we can go back and we can look, and if we need to bring a data point back for some reason, we can look back and see who made the change, when the change was made, and anything that we need to look at the history of that item. So we keep the history on all of those.